What's up, family? Welcome back to another installment of Metaphysics on Your Mind. First, we just want to extend a big shout out to everybody that has shown, unbelievable consistency and support from kind of when we first started this, and we just wanted to acknowledge, and you know who you are. People that kind of go back to the first couple of episodes, we see your name or your moniker in the comments, and we really appreciate it. So I just want to give you a shout out that we really do have a lot of gratitude that you're kind of rolling with us through this exploration. So I figured what we would do this installment would be, since we're seeing these connections between the zodiac, and the Bible, and I thought it would be a good idea to, again, for people that may not have a lot of grounding or background in the zodiac or astrology. This is just a kind of a brief look at what it symbolizes, so that as we go through and we go into other parts of, say, Revelation and other parts of the Bible, and when we talk about meditation, you'll begin to see more and more connections and more synchronicities. So we'll start off with the fact that you have the 12 signs, right? We've already, from earlier videos, we talked about some of them in the context of the Bible, and so we're just going to briefly go through each one and show that in this wheel, right, of the 12 signs, just how there's a consistency on different levels. So first of all, we know that the zodiac is Greek for circle of animals. Okay, well, it comes from the Greek, I should say. Okay, not every sign is quote unquote an animal. Like you have Libra, which technically speaking wouldn't be an animal. But the idea here is this is a representation of the physical. Okay, so Aries, which is always the first sign, corresponds, that's the lamb. I think we saw it in the, we showed the ram's horns. The ventricular system of the brain, forms a ram horn, which is, and it's ruled by Mars, the planet Mars. So you can see that it's in the name as well. But Aries corresponds to the first 7 years of life. Okay? And Aries' motto is I am. Because as an infant, as a baby, you come out and it's like spirit, of course, and flesh announcing itself to the world. I am. Okay? God also in the Bible will go through, refers to himself, or God's self, as I am. So this newborn spirit in a body, in a fleshly body, symbolized as the ram, like the baby lamb, who's pure and untainted. First 7 years. Next we have Taurus. So Taurus is roughly 8 to 14. And the motto for Taurus is I have, or I possess. Okay, so now the consciousness, which is just announcing itself, initially as I am, I'm here, what's this all about? By the time uh, the age of 7 or 8, now that spirit has taken on that flesh to the extent that it begins to, the child begins to look at what it possesses. That's my toy, my mommy, my daddy. This is my room, my bed. So at that age, the spirit person begins to enumerate their possessions. What do they have? And it's going to equate to basically self-worth. Okay? The third one, Gemini. Okay? Is 15 to 21. Gemini, the motto is I communicate. So remember, all of us have these 12 components in varying degrees. We all have it. So Gemini, I communicate. So, as we all know, when you're kind of in that early teen phase is when you begin to have, best friends and buddies or girlfriends or whatever. And, back in the day, you'd be on the phone, your parents would tell you to get off the phone. You've been on the phone for an hour. Communicate. You're beginning to understand how to communicate for what you want. Okay? You're coming out of the adolescent phase and you're moving into how to express yourself. And it makes sense because these two were in the head. Aries is, the head, and Taurus is the neck and the back of the head, right? So now we're moving down, and the neck. Now we're moving down into the shoulders and arms. And what do you do with your arms and shoulders? You communicate, right? Body language. So that's Gemini. You also are preparing to be able to express yourself like in higher learning, right? If you're going to, college or whatever, you have to be able to communicate. 4. This is Cancer. And Cancer would be from 22 to 28. And Cancer is, motto is I feel. Okay? So this is a water sign, with Aries was a fire sign, so it's passion. Taurus is an earth sign, so it's an earthy, grounded, stable sign. Gemini is an air sign. Air signs tend to be very mental and intellectual. Communication. Now we're to Cancer, the water signs. We know what water represents emotion. I feel. Cancer also represents the great mother of the zodiac. Okay? And when we get down to it, we'll show you who the kind of great father is. But Cancer represents the mother, okay? Because it represents the home. The crab carries its home on its back, right? The crab can tuck itself into its shell like a turtle can. So the home, it's all about the home and protection and security. Feelings. The 5th sign is Leo. And Leo, the model for Leo is I will, because it's about willpower, or I create. Because when you're willing something into existence, you're creating, right? So Leo is, we're going to say I create. Okay, the Lion. So that's another fire sign, right? We have, the 4 elements. So now we've covered the first 4, one of each element. Now we're coming into the second 4, which is Leo. And Leo is about expression. So at the age of 29 to roughly 35 in life, that's when you're kind of at your peak, or you begin to go into your peak. If you're an athlete, you're at your peak. If you're an artist, you're kind of really getting going in whatever your particular medium is, if you're trying to create a career for yourself, you know, that happens roughly around this time. You're forging a way for yourself in the world. 6 is Virgo. So Virgo is an earth sign, and it would be 36 to 42. Okay? Virgo is about work and health. So Virgo, their motto is actually I analyze. It's a very analytical sign. Or it could say I scrutinize. Virgos are very diligent with analysis and scrutiny of things. So Virgo is the last of the first half of signs, right? Which is up to age 42, which is pretty much half of what, you know, life can be. You know, most people that don't get cut short make it up into their 80s. We're halfway through. Now the next sign is Libra. Libra, which is represented by the scales, balance. That's literally what its motto is. I balance. Because what do we have to find in life? We've done all this. We are creating a home. You know, it's from Cancer, the great mother, to, you know, beginning your career and thinking about your work and your health. And now you're heading into being concerned with balancing all the things in life. Okay? You're balancing, which is why Libra balances the signs. Remember we said the upper half could be, you know, considered the upper world, the lower half the underworld. You know, Libra is the one balancing the sign. Its opposite sign is the first sign, Aries. Okay, so that's why, you know, it's the balancer. The 8th sign, we'll run through these real quick, and, you know, this is just for reference. So obviously Libra is also about, you know, justice, balancing the scales. The 8th sign is Scorpio, and Scorpio's motto is, there's a couple. One of them is I want, or I see, but it's also I regenerate, right? Because it represents the genitals, and it also represents, we talked about how transformation. So we're going to say I regenerate, the phoenix, okay, rising from the ashes. Okay, so in Libra, our age was 43 to what, 50? Something like that. 43 to 49, 43 to 50. And then Scorpio would be 51, I think, to 58, something like that. But you can see, you're trying to, in the midlife, you're trying to balance, you know, all the priorities of your life. But then at a certain point, you want to regenerate. It's like you want to almost start over at this point, because you're at a new stage of life. So Scorpio represents that ability to transform. 9, Sagittarius, is I seek, because Sagittarius is about higher knowledge, higher learning, belief systems. It also seeks liberty, freedom. So this would be roughly 58 to 59 to, I think I might have gotten that wrong, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. Let's do this. 56, well, it's off. And then this would be the 63. So 57 to 63, age 63. So now you're seeking higher knowledge. Gemini represents a more basic knowledge level. You know, you're going into college, right? You're in high school or whatever. Sagittarius is about philosophy and higher levels of learning. 10 is Capricorn. And Capricorn, as it represents the skeleton of the body, is about structure, is about mastery, is about building. So Capricorn is, you could say, I build, I master. We'll just say build, right? And it makes sense when you say I build, because the body is laid out on the skeleton of the bones, right? Capricorn represents the bones. Okay, it's like, that's what you're building on. And then we'll jump back up to, and we'll go to 11 here. Actually, let's go up here. This is Aquarius. Okay. And Aquarius is motto is I know. We just talked about that. How we were going from the age of, in the precession of the equinoxes, from the age of Pisces about belief to the age of knowing in Aquarius. Aquarius is I know, okay? And if Capricorn was 63 to 70, Aquarius is 71 to 77. So what happens is the Aquarius is kind of like the quirky uncle or grandfather who has kind of done his thing, because Capricorn represents the father figure. Remember, we say Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. Capricorn is like the father, authority figure of the zodiac. And then it's like after that, you know, Cap, we're talking about at the top, Cap, Captain, that all comes from Capricorn, you know, when you're at the summit. Then when you've kind of done your thing, you become the, you know, the nutty uncle or grandfather, very quirky, where you turn everything upside down. We said that was one of the Aquarius traits, was turning things upside down, revolutionary, not caring about, you know, what you say or how you say it, because at that age, in your 70s, you don't care anymore. You look after your grandkids or whatever, and everybody else, all the other adults, hey, and everybody kind of knows that, you know, Uncle so-and-so or, you know, Grandpa or whatever is a little quirky. Aquarius. Last sign is Pisces. And Pisces is I believe. Remember we said Aquarius is I know. Pisces, you have two fish. That's a symbol. And the, you know, the symbol for the two fish is one believes and the other doesn't. Because it's belief. So I believe. So basically, all of these are components of us, of you, of the personality makeup. You go through stages in life, okay? This is pretty much parallels our experience as we kind of move through it. So this is, there are many meanings up here, but basically besides them symbolizing the parts of the body, it's also the components of the personality, and then also the stages of life. So, you know, again, this stuff is so layered that there are multiple things going on. So I just thought it would be a good idea to have a look at this before we move forward, as we move forward in the theater of the mind, so that when we read this stuff, you know, we expand our, you know, our vision, you know, because it's bigger than just this, and there's interconnections, you know, all the way through it. So again, we kind of wanted to refresh us on just what this means, so that when we see the references, we know it's not just, you know, some pie in the sky reference, but it actually has a deep meaning. Once again, we thank you.